Yemen's Ansar Houthis have declared a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia, set to take effect immediately. The Iran-backed group says the move is in response to a recent attack on Sanaa Airport. The military spokesperson for the Houthis made the announcement based on the equation of an eye for an eye. The group also warned that any further escalation by Saudi Arabia would be met with a broader response.
في الخروج المليوني العظيم في جمعة التحذير والنفير.
The Yemeni armed forces announces a ban on maritime navigation for the Saudi enemy. According to the rules of a blockade, the siege will be implemented as soon as we have issued this statement. Our people have the right to respond to a blockade with a blockade and escalation with escalation.
Well, in a moment, we'll speak to Zain Basravi in Doha for the Gulf reaction and our chief US correspondent, Alan Fisher, for White House reaction to these developments. But first, let's go to Youssef Mauri in Sana'a. Youssef, talk us through the immediate impact of this Houthi announcement. How effectively can they actually enforce a naval blockade against Saudi Arabia? And what does this mean for Red Sea shipping lanes?
Well, let's not forget that 12 to 15% of global trade passes through the Red Sea, through Bab al-Mandeb. 8 to 10 million barrels of crude oil pass through Bab al-Mandeb. 4 million of those barrels are exported from Saudi Arabia. So it will have a tremendous impact on the global economy, not just the Saudi economy. But this is not just a blockade to prevent Saudi oil exporting. It's also going to prevent Saudi imports. Any company or any country that is importing goods, products to Saudi Arabia, that will also be blocked according to this naval blockade on all Saudi navigation. As we've seen in the previous blockade that was imposed by the Ansar Houthis on all Israeli shipments, it gradually went from just being a blockade to prevent Israeli imports and exports to the targeting of any shipping company, cargo shipping company that does business with Israel, which drastically impacted the Israeli economy. In fact, it led to the bankruptcy of 2 of its main ports, the port of Haifa and the port of Eilat in southern Israel. And this could very well be the formula that Saudi is heading in if negotiations are not successful in Oman. There is currently negotiations taking place between the Ansar Houthis and Saudi officials in Oman. If that will bear any fruit, we have to wait and see. But until there's some kind of compromise from either side, this blockade is only going to drastically increase tensions between Yemen and Saudi Arabia.
And Youssef, this escalation breaks a period of calm somewhat. I mean, can you give our viewers some context on how this came about specifically? How much of this is driven by the Houthis' alignment with Iran, as, of course, tensions continue to boil over with the US?
Well, the Houthis are making it very clear. They are strong allies with Iran. And this is, what started this conflict is even before Saudi Arabia targeted Sanaa International Airport. Let's not forget, Saudi Arabia has been imposing a blockade on Sanaa International Airport since 2015, since the Ansar Houthi takeover of the Yemeni capital, whereby they toppled the internationally recognized Yemeni government backed by Saudi Arabia. Basically, the position of Saudi Arabia is that the Ansar Houthi group is an illegit Yemeni authority who should not be in power and who should not have control of Sana'a. They want to restore the Rashad al-Ulaimi government, but that government is stationed and is operating in the south of the country. Saudi Arabia wants to bring them back to take control of Sana'a and to take control of the areas that's under the control of the Ansar Houthis. If Saudi Arabia does not get those political demands, according to the Houthis, this is the main reason why Saudi Arabia is imposing a naval and aerial blockade on any airport that's controlled or under the control of the Ansar Houthis. So now you have a situation to where the Ansar Houthis, who have hypersonic missiles, who have ballistic missiles, and who have drones, and who have targeted Saudi Arabia in previous rounds of conflict, basically saying that we're going to target Saudi airports just like they target Yemeni airports, and we're also going to impose a naval blockade against all Saudi navigation, just as they are imposing a blockade on Yemen.
Yusuf, many thanks for all of that context. Yusuf Maori there in Sanaa.